Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Andy Hudson, Incentive Concepts Live. I'm the Director of Marketing for Incentive Concepts, and I don't know about you, but I want to get in the water after watching that intro video. Fantastic introduction for what we have going on today, and I really hope you're enjoying yourselves. We're in full-time summer mode here with the Hudson family and the entire Incentive Concepts family, and we'd love to hear where you're joining us from. Put that in the chat and tell us your name and also what you're up to this summer for sure. We are heading to our lake house later this summer in late July up in beautiful northern Wisconsin on Lake Nebagaman is the name of the lake. Shout out to my family who lives up there. Would love to hear what lake or summer water escape you get away to. So put that in there if you have a family lake or a family summer water getaway escape. What's the name of your family lake or cottage or whatever the case may be up there? And with that, let's bring on our guests with Incentive Concepts, our vice president who handles all of our brand relationships and a heck of a lot more, wears a lot of hats, Mike Reinberg, and also from RAVE Sports, we have Dustin Elbing. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing great. Thanks, Andy.
Oh, good. Thank you, Andy.
All right, Mike, thank you. And thank you, Dustin, for joining us. I'm so excited about this episode. I can't tell you how excited I am to help introduce this brand to our industry. And Mike, I'd like to kind of start with you. And first of all, how are things going with you and your family? And maybe you can give a brief introduction of Dustin and what we have in store for us today.
Great. Family's good. Kids are on summer vacation. And we went on a little family trip to Florida last week. And on the beach, actually saw some RAVE products. The water bogging down the way from us got me excited for today. So, yeah, the kids are good. Everybody's doing well, and the summer's off to a good start. Yesterday, we did a training for Costa Del Mar sunglasses all on the water, and then that video you just showed, on the lake, it's got me pumped for summer. So I'm excited.
Great. Who do we have with us today, Mike? Can you give a quick intro of Dustin and let him maybe introduce himself? Or
yeah, Dustin Elbing as National Sales Manager for RAVE Sports. I'm really excited about this partnership with them. They're a category leader for their products, but most excited because it's under the Escalade Sports umbrella as well, which has been a longtime partner for Incentive Concepts and has been in the premium and incentive industry for many, many years. So they understand our business, they understand our customers, and this is a great pickup. Makes it much easier when somebody like Escalade brings the brand to us.
Well, thank you. Dustin, over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your family and your role with RAVE Sports.
Excellent. Yep. So as Mike said, I'm the National Sales Manager here. Been here for 5 years. I'm married, have 3 small kids, 2 boys and a girl. But I also want to make mention of my teammates here today. I have Phoebe McVicker, who's our marketing and sales coordinator on the camera. And then Tana DeBoer, who's my director, making sure I don't screw up today, is our marketing director. And then we also have Jason Borg, who's at the Escalade offices in Indiana. He's probably on the video watching, and
Wonderful.
He's our sales director. So it's a huge team effort here, and we're really excited to be showing you the products today. I grew up on the water, so it's really fantastic that I've been able to find a career where this is all I do every day. So excited to show you the products, and I'm going to get started. We're going to kind of go over and see something real quick on our bongos and how it's a set it, forget it, and move on setup. So if you want to come with me.
All right. While you're walking, tell us where what part of the country you're joining us from.
Sure. We're joining you from Eagan, Minnesota. We're about 10 minutes from the airport. So hopefully the sound system we're using won't pick up any planes flying over. But if you hear that in the background, that's why. So right now I'm showing you the Bongo 15. And with our high-speed inflator, like I said, we're going to do a little set it and forget it. We'll come back to this later, but this will kind of show everybody how easy these are to set up and get rolling.
All right. Looks like that's inflating right there. And you mentioned that you spend a lot of time on the water. I wanted to do a quick viewer poll question here, if you don't mind. And I'm just interested in with the pandemic and the growth of people spending time outdoors, how many traditional power boats do you think were sold in the US in 2020? So put that in the comments. How many traditional power boats do you think were sold in the US in 2020? So put your guess in the live chat there, and then we'll get back to that question. Dustin, looks like you've moved over to a different part of your setup here. What are we looking at here?
Absolutely. I'm going to go over stand-up paddle boards. I do want to piggyback on your comments, though, Andy, about the power boats. Keep in mind that number probably doesn't include the number of pontoon sales going up, which has been increasing by 30% every year. Something you usually think of a pontoon boat, a slow putsy and just to hang out on, but they're now making tri-tunes with 200 horsepower engines on them. So a lot of the towable buyers out there are pontoon owners, and that market is sailing as well. So just a little tidbit on that. Now that we're at the SUP, oh, go ahead. Sorry, Andy.
I was just going to say people are putting things in the chat, so we'll get back to that in a second. But let's go in with this SUP that you're looking at here.
Sure. So just to give you a brief overview of stand-up paddle, there's really only two forms. There's your rigid, which is always solid, or your inflatable. In the rigid category, there are going to be a fiberglass option, what we call thermoform, which is this one right here. And then there's also one that's a soft top, where it'll have all this soft foam right here all over the entire board. Today, we're going to focus on the ISUP, which are going to be this one that you see, the 320, the 350, and this lovely Akina that's laying on the ground labeled the 340. Just to kind of show everybody how light these are, like you can literally throw them, it's perfect air, and these are extremely, extremely light. So give you an idea, this board right here that I'm trying to get in the stand here. So for those of you who haven't, go ahead, Andy.
And while you're doing that, you call that an ISUP. What does that stand for?
Inflatable stand-up paddle board.
Gotcha.
So anything in the industry usually refers to inflatable paddle boards as ISUP. So as you can see, they look like they're perfectly solid, but they fold up and they land into a bag like this. We have 3 size options in our lineup, and really the size of the paddle board depends on the size of the person. I'm 6'4", 250. So this lovely board would be a size for me. Anybody that's 200 or lower could get on something like this, or they could also use that. And then our 350 Agande board is going to be more cruising, wanting to go a little faster. That's where you get the point of no shape. So our 2 most popular boards are going to be the Saitasca and the Akina, and those are going to be featured for everybody in a kit that will come with the paddle for you this year. If you're not familiar with it, what makes these so solid is they're made out of what's called a drop stitch material. Phoebe, if you wouldn't mind coming in a little bit, maybe you can zoom in. I don't know if you can pick up the texture of these, but you kind of see these little dimples on everything. That's tons of fiberglass strands that are holding it together in that shape. So you can put as much air in it as you want to make them extremely, extremely rigid. Very popular, very portable. They would ship in normal UPS packaging. And regardless if you have a cabin or if you're living in the city and want to store them in an apartment or whatnot, it's probably the most well-rounded board and board construction. And it's actually the most durable. I think people hear inflatable and think it's going to pop, but in Colorado and Idaho, where they have the Rocky Rivers, inflatable SUP is what everybody rides out there. So yeah, that's our SUP line. And we have a deeper breadth of SUP, but for shipping reasons and things like that, I think the most popular situation for your clients are going to be the inflatable SUPs.
Okay, great. And I've got a few comments coming in and then one question before we move to our next category. I said Lake Nebagaman is my water escape. Brett Sanborn, who we know well, Grand Traverse Bay in northern Michigan, and Michelle Cochran is heading to the ASI show in Chicago. So she's going to spend some time on the shores of Lake Michigan. Michelle does have a question here about, do those sell with the stands?
They do not sell with the stands. The SUP stands they're really just for trade shows or store owners to display in a retail location. If they want information to purchase them, we do have the person that makes them. We ourselves only have about a dozen just for trade shows and whatnot. But as far as storage goes, most of the time, especially with the inflatables, you're going to roll it up and put it back in the bag to store it.
Okay, great. Let's move on inside now, and then I'm going to have Mike. I'm going to ask Mike a question on Michelle's behalf. She mentioned, can these be custom branded, Mike? I know we talked about that earlier. Can you address that? And also the fact that these ISUPs can be packaged, how does that help with shipping?
Great questions. We've been discussing the customization of the ISUPs in particular. One, it will be easier to ship them. They can go FedEx or UPS. So the packaging, the way they deflate and fit into that nice carry bag makes it easier to ship them, and they don't weigh all that much. So we are working on decorated options for some of these products. There's, like every other manufacturer right now, there's some supply chain issues we're working on, and then it's finding the right decorator and solution for that. That's what our own Mary Pat Mitchell helps us out with. And so she'll be exploring that. We're looking to launch a program closer to the end of the year, probably a 2022 project.
Okay, thanks, Mike. And we asked the question, how many boats, traditional power boats, do you think were sold in the U.S. in 2020? Raul said 10,000. Michelle said 200,000. Dave Kedzie, 80,000. Any guesses there from you, Mike? Or?
Geez, I couldn't put a number on it. I gotta guess it's a new record, though.
Okay, well, yeah, the answer was 212,800, and then a few more in 2020, and that's for traditional power boats, and that represents a 13-year high, up 14% compared to 2019, and that's from the National Marine Manufacturers Association. So Michelle was the closest. Sorry, Michelle, you don't win a free power boat, but good job for you for getting close. And I know, Dustin, you mentioned that pontoon boat sales are even maybe skyrocketing higher than that.
Yes, the last 3 years, they've actually had over 30% growth. I don't have the exact number on me, but I know it's easily around the 200,000 plus mark too. So the way I would look at it, that's just one in a year. You know, boats last for many years. So roughly 400,000 boats that are capable of pulling tow tubes make this the largest category out there right now. Interesting fact that the towable side of the water sports business is, if you put wakeboarding, wake surfing, skiing, even some of the paddle sports in it, none of them can outmatch the towable market by itself. That's how many towables are out there. So by far, this will be the most likely be the heaviest portion of the business for everybody. And it's quite a fun business. So while we're here, I'm going to start out with our favorite series, which is our Mambo series. Here I have the Mega Mambo, the traditional Mambo, and then our Mambo PX, which is a 4-rider, a 3-rider, and a 2-rider. And what makes this product the most interesting is the fact that it has this turned up wing here. And I can kind of simulate what that looks like on the water. If you're whipping out on the lake, it should ride on the wing. So it gives you that ultra thrill of feeling like you're kind of on edge, but it won't tip over. So that is our favorite series. When anybody calls and asks what towable to get, this is the one we recommend.
All right. And looks like there's 3 sizes there. And then how many riders can each of those accommodate?
So the Mambo PX will be a 2-rider. The regular Mambo will be a 3-rider. And the Mega Mambo would be a 4-rider. Or if you're my size, you know, maybe I can get one more person on there with me, but definitely is something to keep in mind. But yeah, those are that 3 of the series. So next, I'm going to move on to our Diablo series, which is also fun. What's going to make this series a little more unique is, for one, it's going to be for smaller kids that want to lay on their bellies and be adventurous. not your traditional sit-in, but why it's designed that way. So we'll have tapered here and it gets thinner in the back, and then we'll have a boarding strap. So it's going to be easier for the kids to get on with their life jackets. And then on top of it, we will have what we refer to as the leg retention fins. So if you're riding, it helps keep your legs from slipping off to the side as you're moving side to side. So in this series, we have a 3-person towable and a 2-person towable right here in the Diablo 2. And again, this is probably, I will say the Diablo 2 is our highest selling unit to date.
Wonderful. Love the bright colors. And we jokingly said to Michelle that she wants to win something because she was close on the boat thing. Michelle, guess what? We are going to be giving away something today, courtesy of Rave Sports. We're going to get to that in 1 minute or 1 second, actually, or maybe a few seconds. Let's head over there now, I think, Dustin, okay, and you can talk about this next series. Mike, sure. Mike, while he's walking right there right now, what would be the best way for some of our customers to kind of explore which size or which specific collection would be best for them?
Well, like a lot of our brands, it's just about the feature to benefit. You know, what's the application? What's your family size? What's your what's the body of water you're going to be using it at? And like Dustin was going through, he's 6'4", 250. So they're going to need a 4-person if they want to get more than one person on there with him. If their kids are going to be right, is it just going to be for the kids? That type of thing, and what type of boat you're going to be pulling with. So when we get to our options that we're going to put on our price sheet, we've taken that into consideration, and we've kitted it with appropriate accessories. So if we've got a 4-person tube, we're going to have a 4-person tow rope, and what's the other thing we're going to have with it? And an inflator, a high-speed inflator that's going to go with it as well. So we're making a complete package, and Dustin and Phoebe have been great about providing all that information and the sales data that goes with it that says, hey, when people buy this, they're also going to want this inflator and not just the manual pump too.
Okay, great. Looks like we got something called Frantic here.
Yes, Andy, that's the next series, is the Frantic. Once again, it's going to be tapered like our Diablo series. So this is more of the traditional round shape that I'm sure most people are used to seeing, but some nice features that we have on it. Not only is it tapered and easier to get on with the boarding strap, but similar to Clark Griswold's non-caloric silicone-based kitchen lubricant, we have something called the Skim Fast bottom, which actually helps you. Not only does it skip across the water a little quicker if you get whipped outside the wake, but it actually does help you plane out faster as the boat's getting started, so the tube doesn't tilt down, keeps tension on the rope so that the tube doesn't snap out of people's hands, or called slingshotting, which I actually used to do to riders on purpose. Shame on me. But in this series, we do offer, again, a 2-person, which is the Frantic. We'll have the 3-person, which is the X Frantic. And then we have the 4-person, which is the Mass Frantic. One note I do want to make about the 4-person towables, they do get too large to taper. So you will not see a tapered 4-person this large, just because it won't hold up durability wise. I'm going to move on here. Mike, I brought this in because I do believe you have a story about your traditional cockpit too, but I'm going to show you what we offer that's different to make it a little better. So if you don't mind sharing your story on how that felt to ride in a traditional cockpit, and then I'll move on to this next tube.
Yeah, I got a cousin who's about your size, and he had a big boat, and he pulled my brother and my cousin in a tube for the first time, and it had the holes in it. So we were kneeling down, and he decides to go about 60, 70 miles an hour, ripping us across the lake. And it was just like my knees were getting pounded into cement. I wasn't quite ready for it, but I think you guys have a solution for better comfort and better overall experience.
Absolutely. So whether kneeling or sitting in the tube I just showed you, when you're sitting straight with your buns on the lake water as you're skipping across, if the driver wants to pull you that fast, it does become a rough ride. So in our Escape towable, which is a sit-in, rather than be a traditional cockpit, we've got this recumbent seating, which actually more or less acts like a hammock for your seat. So it's almost like a suspension ride as you're riding on it. So super comfortable tube. This is also a great one for kids that are just getting used to being pulled and or mom wants to ride with the younger kids just to cruise around on the lake. So the other thing I'll mention is this does have our excellent skim fast as well. So Andy, I do believe you mentioned the storm kits, so I'm going to move on to those right now.
Okay, and as you're walking, I've got to definitely compliment you on the Clark Griswold Christmas vacation segue there. That was fantastic.
Well, I don't know if you can do a tube land speed record, but it depends on how fast your boat can go, but we can sure try, I guess. Last but not least, we're going to end on our towable series, I'm sorry, the storm series. We have a 2-person and a 4-person. This series is our highest selling series. It's our most popular series. It's fun graphics with the lightning on it. It's your standard deck tubes, which most people carry. And then you did mention the giveaway. The Storm 2-person is going to be in the giveaway with the tow rope and a lovely pump that will work in your DC in your car, boat, or RV. So
thank you. Thank you so much. And viewers, go to incentiveconcepts.com/storm, incentiveconcepts.com/storm, and you can enter for that storm package, which again includes that awesome 2-person tube, a tow rope, and that inflator pump. So make sure to go over there. Mike, any comments about the towables before we head on to this next section?
Yeah, I'm glad all these upgrades have taken place to the towables, how you can go faster on them so kids can be safe and have a lot of fun. But if I ever get one, I'm going to make sure my kids are broken in the right way and have the same experience I did the first time.
Well, I think when you're a dad, you're responsible for trying to whip the kids off of the towables more than keeping them on that. Dustin, you probably don't endorse that officially, but maybe you have an experience with that, or
WSIA standards say I do not endorse that, but it's the most fun about being the boat driver. I'll tell you that much.
All right. Looks like we got some other cool stuff. What do you got here?
Sure. I'm going to move on to our skis and wakeboards. We offer 2 different sizes basically in the wakeboards. You're going to have your kid sizes. This will go up to I shouldn't say kid. You might have a small teenager with small feet. Anybody that's 125 pounds or less would ride these boards. And then we have also our lyric or our freestyle, which are going to be 125 plus. We say they max out at 250. I've been on them. You can get it. It just really depends on the rider and how good they are and how comfortable they are. So you can get heavier people on them. The thing I want to say about our wakeboards is they are made in the same factories as they make the high performance for professional riders and things like that. So our quality is up there, but our price point is not near that high. These are great boards. They're great for people to start on. They're great for people that are just avid and don't want to get too into it. So they're really, really nice boards. My favorite happens to be this freestyle board. It has 4 fins on it and a really nice rocker and thin profile. So if you want to get a little more performance and get doing some jumps and things like that, this would be my favorite board for that. So moving on into the skis, similar situation. We want to hit a core price point for the large group of people, which is not the professionals. It's just the avid folks. So we do have a really nice slalom ski that's available. And that, again, is also made in the same factory as you would get a $900 competition ski. So it's of that same quality, just nowhere near the price. We have the Pier ski in our offering, which is going to be a fiberglass top, plastic bottom, which is called a rim molded application. And that, again, same quality. They'll have rubber adjustable binding boots. You'll get one ski without the backing on it to slalom, and you'll have one ski that will have the slalom on it. And then last but not least is our training series. It comes with the best ski trainer on the market is this Aqua Buddy. You literally sit on it, let the boat start pulling, and boat can speed up until you get comfortable. You just stand right up whenever you feel ready. Also works great for wakeboarding. If anybody's ever tried to learn how to ski before, especially if you're a young child, you know, having the leg strength to keep your tips up and keep the skis from wobbling and bend your knees and sit on a chair and let the boat pull you and all these instructions that you're trying to listen to your dad yell at you about, it gets hard. So this takes that all out of it. The one thing I want to say about our training skis is we do have a bar to help keep those tips together. It is removable. But the best thing is for the young kids, anybody like 85 pounds or less, most of the time their training skis come and they're just wood. Ours are going to be that same high quality rim molded with fiberglass top and for lack of a better term, more like a plasticky feeling bottom. So that's our whole ski series. Any questions from you gentlemen on that?
No questions from the viewers. I do want to tell you that fun fact, I actually taught water skiing 2 summers at a sleepaway camp in Pennsylvania. And I wish I had that Aqua Buddy, because talk about stressing out is trying to teach like 8 and 9-year-old campers how to water ski. Like you said, arms straight, knees bent, blah, blah, blah. Whew, need one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. And by far, I've used it and watched people get up on it. It's amazing. We've got a 85-year-old man who is a water ski comp. He could not get up anymore because of his knees, and bought one of these, and he got to participate in the show one last time. So
awesome.
It really
awesome.
Works. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to move on and just do a quick jaunt on our pool floats quick. We offer a big line of pool floats. Just real quick, they're going to be different from what you normally see. When you go buy one at Walmart or Target or something like that, you're usually going to get the quality of maybe it'll last a week, maybe a whole month, but we have higher quality towables. This is one of our most popular. And we've also put some other unique thought into it. As you can see, it's kind of a bubble mattress, but there's little holes through here. So as you sit and rest in it, with the hot sun blazing on you, you get cool water running through the back. So we're not your traditional pool float. It's higher gauge, higher quality. These are meant to last season after season.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I do have one comment that's coming in actually on our Facebook feed, which I think I have to ask this because it's from Gloria French. And she says, ask Dustin why he lost a $500 bet.
Well, I was supposed to wear a Speedo today, and I just didn't think that was, I was ready to do that on my first one. So maybe next year, Gloria, maybe next year.
Well, rumor has it, Dustin, that you like to dress up, and maybe not even on Halloween. Is that true?
That is, I like to have fun with my outfits. Yes.
Okay,
especially on golf outings, things like that.
Well, the next time we have you on, we'll have to give you see the outfit. Looks like you're heading back outside. Mike, you've been watching. Anything you want to add right now while he heads back outside?
On the skis and on the towables, I just want to reiterate, we're coming out with some packages for each of those. So you'll get boots and a rope where needed. And we're really focusing on those entry-level packages. And like Dustin was talking about, the adult pure package that we'll have, it's something that's great that somebody can just keep in their boat. So nothing intimidating. That it's all supposed to be very approachable and to help get people into the sports and enjoy the water more.
Wonderful. Thanks. And perfect timing here. We've just headed out. But by the way, shout out to the camera crew here because they're doing a fantastic job. It looks like we're back out here at this bongo. Dustin?
Absolutely. So I mentioned when we started, this is a set it and forget it type deal. I came with our high speed inflator. Everybody saw me connect it to start. We left, we went and did our thing, and now it's ready to go. This is what makes these so nice to do. They're very easy to set up. While I don't recommend this, you can get on the land with them. Bounces, not like a trampoline, but jumping on a bed type deal.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, right. I've had a little practice. It will come with the ladder, and we do provide everything that'll make it easy for setup. I know a lot of people ask about anchoring. You can see it's so light I can lift it. I'm not that strong. Well, you'll have a whole unit to set up where the anchor will connect. And really the toughest job is figuring out what you want to use for an anchor and how far to put it out. Our bongos are made of reinforced PVC. The easiest way to describe it, if you've never seen an inflatable dinghy or, like the inflatable boats like the military uses, that's what this grade vinyl is. And then the jump surface is exactly what you would see on like an outdoor trampoline. So on our Bongo series bouncers, the thing that is important to RAVE is we're the only ones out there with a removable jump surface and replaceable. That way, if you've been on the boat too long on the 4th of July, forgot to move your bongo and then hit the fireworks and some sparks came down, you could easily replace your jump surface from that. So.
And how many sizes does that come in, Dustin?
We have in the Bongo Bouncer series, we have a 10-foot, a 13-foot, and 15-foot, which is this one right here is the 15. Then we also have a 20-foot. And then we also offer our splash zone, and that is going to be a package, which will come in a 12-foot and a 16-foot. Those will be white and blue, and they automatically come with a slide and a log attachment on it. They're designed to be a little more of a package at a smaller price point than what our Bongo series are. And so, but also a very good product and made of the reinforced PVC. And then we also do offer a trampoline side of things. And we have a 12-foot, a 15-foot, a 20-foot, and a 25-foot trampoline. The only difference between the trampolines and bouncers is, as you can see, there's no springs here. Our trampolines would have metal hooks here, and then they connect a spring to the bounce surface, and that's the number one difference between the two. You get much higher bounce on a trampoline when you're on the water.
All right. Well, thanks. We're getting close to wrapping up here. 2 quick questions that are in the chat right now, and then we can wrap it up here. Number one is for Mike. Can you send a corporate retail price list? It doesn't appear that RAVE is in the brand partners yet. Can you give an update on when to expect information on our website, Mike?
Yeah, we'll be publishing that soon. We've been working on this for several months with RAVE. As I mentioned at the beginning, Escalade acquired RAVE at the beginning of the year. And anybody who's ever been a part of a merger or acquisition, you get introduced to new systems and get all new product information set up. So Phoebe's been working on that with our own Shay Knowles to get product details over to us. It's just been an ongoing process, but the team's committed to getting us all the information that our industry needs, that our team needs to get everything published. And yeah, there are some supply chain issues like everybody else is dealing with. It's getting stuff over from China and then getting it to be able to ship it. So that's just the reality right now. But we have the pricing information we need, and we're going to be publishing that very soon. So we appreciate everybody being patient with us.
Okay, so Michelle, just stay tuned on that. We'll get that to you right away. Reach out to your sales rep, and he or she can help you with that. And the last question was from Dave. How long approximately to inflate the 15-foot? Well, probably about 20 minutes if it inflated that quickly.
Yes, I would say it's roughly 20 minutes for that. And we did start it completely out of air when you saw me latch it on. So it might have been done a little sooner. Our pumps actually stopped putting air in it at a certain point. That's why I say it's a set it, forget it. The pump won't explode the tube. The only way you could do that is if you're using an air compressor and just let it be. But that's the beauty of having our high-speed inflator with it. So like I said, to this crew that's standing here today, we set up 3 trampolines, 3 bouncers for a photo shoot, and like 5 other items all in a day, and tore them down and packed them up so that they are quick and easy to do, much easier than most people would think. So.
All right. Well, Dustin, this has been fantastic. Mike, always great to see you. Make sure to head over to incentiveconcepts.com/storm, where you can enter for that awesome storm package, that 2-person towable that comes with a tow rope and a pump. And then 2 weeks from today, July 8th, is going to be our next unboxing challenge with Tom Sferrator, or Sferratore, I think is how you say it, right? I can never remember how to say his last name, but he's actually going to be on the rooftop of his Queens apartment, Mike. He's going to do it from the rooftop. Hopefully the weather cooperates, but that'll be kind of fun. So make sure to tune in for that July 8th, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central, incentiveconcepts.com/live. Dustin, thank you so much again. Mike, great to see you. And we really can't wait to have this RAVE Sports brand out in the industry. We look forward to seeing all of you viewers next time. Have a great day. Dustin, take care. Thanks again.
Thank you. I just want to say on behalf of the RAVE Sports team, we're really excited to have partnered with Incentive Concepts and everything you bring. So we're super excited for the partnership and can't wait to get our products infused with everybody.
All right. Mike, Dustin, once again, thanks. And thanks, viewers. We'll see you in